So when I called us out for being thieves, some people were not happy at all. But listen, stealing is a part of our culture. And if you are interested in finding out why we became that, the simple answer is colonialism. So about last week, I had lunch with a man whose father got to have a conversation with Kwame Nkrumah when he was alive. And his father told him about how, at the time, there was a lot of stealing in government and a lot of stealing in, Nkrumah had set up these factories and people were stealing, actively stealing in the factories. And so in conversation, he reminded the man of the great speech he made on Independence Day when he said the independence of Ghana is meaningless unless it is linked to the total liberation of Africa. In that speech, he also said we need to remember that we are no longer a colonized people. And his father says, Nkrumah told him, I made that statement because I know that when we were colonized, we used to steal as a protest. So the person who go to work as a house help, or as a cleaner, as a security guard in a white person's house, would steal as a way of protesting, because he knows these people are here, they are taking our mineral resources, they are taking our gold, they are taking our timber, they were taking everything. So we protested by stealing. It was, and unfortunately, we became independent, but we didn't lose the habit. So actually, if you look at the trend of stealing in Africa, Ghana, Nigeria, Liberia, it's in the comments, right? People admitting that they have the same problems doing business in these countries. If you look at who steals, you realize that we are mostly educated. The poor, uneducated African can be some of the most honorable human beings you'll ever meet. High integrity. It is we, the educated ones. And we steal ferociously. The more educated we are, the more dangerous we can be. And that really breaks my heart, because we are the people with the most power to transform our nation. We have people who will give you contracts and demand up to 50% of the face value of the contract as a kickback in Ghana. If all they ask for is about 20% or 10%, you got away with it, But these are people working for organizations that pay them. They are not consultants. They are people who are on salary. They are employees of these organizations. So if you're a Ghanaian and you want to do genuine business, if you're not careful, by the time the project is done, you have nothing to show for it. And then you have to go and pay taxes on money, on money that has already been taken from you. These are the realities. Even in churches, people who are, especially the big churches, pastors will bribe, otherwise they get transferred to remote places and all that. No, listen, we are not ignorant. This is what it is. This is the reality. And I feel that, as Nkrumah said, we cannot be an independent people who still behave as if we are colonized. Yes, when we were colonized, stealing, pilfering was a way to protest. But we are no longer a colonized people. Today, when you steal the money that is supposed to be used for drugs at the hospital, your own mother will die. Your own father will die. When you have a crisis, you'll be put in the back of a pickup because there are no ambulances. When they take you to Korle Bu, there'll be no medication. When they take you to the hospital, there'll be no medication. Yes, the people who suffer the most are ourselves. There are a lot of people who sit in high positions in this country, not because they are qualified, but because they bribed their way through school. Either they were getting sexually transmitted grades from professors and teachers or from lecturers, or they were bribing other people and some TAs to do their work for them or to pass them. So sometimes you show up and unfortunately the person who has to attend to you has a certificate that proves their competence, but actually are not qualified for the job. This is what we are dealing with as a nation. Too many incompetent people wherever you turn because of the same culture of stealing. Roads in my neighborhood were done when Mahama was in power the last time, and we've gone back to red soil, because the job was so badly done that the roads didn't survive. As for Kufuor, he didn't even bother doing some of these roads, So we have to spend new money as a nation to redo them. When in some countries, roads will last 100 years, 200 years, 300 years. All they do is slight maintenance here and there. The roads are totally gone. I could show you a video. The roads are gone. But people were paid, contractors, people who are professionals. But if you were to sit down with them and analyze carefully, you realize that probably 60% of the money went elsewhere. 50% of the money for the project went elsewhere. And they are in business to make profit. So maybe if you are lucky, 30 to 40% of the money actually went into making the road. So who gets hurt? We're hurting ourselves. And I feel that we need to have these conversations honestly. It is stealing from us. It is stealing from us. It is holding us back as a people. We are not able to become what we can become because of stealing. Let's stop. Thank you.